Hey you guys, Desmond here,
And LaCresha.
and welcome back to the channel. Today we are here to talk about RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under, Season 2, Episode 3. We're already on Episode 3? Lord, these seasons are starting to fly through. And knowing that most of them are only going to have 8 episodes, that really helps the spirit knowing that we're going through them. That really
Yes,
helps with the
because October, November, and December are going to be some months.
yeah, because we got Canada versus the world, Philippines, UK, Dragula. I think that's it. Is that the rest of our year?
Yes.
Woo! See, we've already hit the iceberg, honey. We already hit it. We've already hit it, honey. So we just gotta ride this wave down, honey. Lord have mercy. But anyway,
Unless they do Queens of the Universe again.
oh yeah, they're shooting it now. Like
Oh,
they're shooting it right now. So it'll probably air probably around the same time UK4 will air around the holidays. And I hope we get another Christmas remix. Woo woo.
Hey, sis, it's Christmas.
Rumor has it September 7th is when we're going to get the UK promos.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that's coming. And we're rumor has it the Canada versus the world promos are coming shortly as well, because rumor has it that's going to start October
Hey,
20
you see my pillow.
October 27th is when it's going to start. So it's going to be like a month or so after Canada's over. Yeah. So yeah. And plus, Dragula's starting up too. Hooey. But anyway, let's get on Drag Race Down Under. What did you think of
Mm.
this episode altogether as I get this pulled up?
I think it was good. I don't remember so much being Drag Race.
Overall, I enjoyed this episode. I did. There was
Uh-huh.
some interesting conversations that took place, and I want to talk about them. So
Let's talk about it.
let's talk about it. So we start off coming back in after Aubrey was sent to the house. Queen Kong is really emotional because they fully accepted the fact that they were going to go home. They're having a struggle getting their footing in this competition. And
Mm.
I could understand that, but I'm like, honey, don't give up. Don't give up.
Yeah, please don't. For
They
multiple
congratulate
reasons.
Spanky on getting her win, although I wouldn't have given it to her.
That part.
No, she did a great job. I'm not gonna say act like she didn't. She did an amazing job in acting challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So we're moving on. It's the next day in the workroom. They're chatting. RuPaul walks in, and we have us a good old mini challenge. It's amazing how everybody can have mini challenges every episode, but the main franchise.
That's above them now.
Yeah, no. But anyway, we had our pit crew come through.
The Beat Crew.
So basically, what they had to do is RuPaul was going to name off a drag essential, and they had to
Mm.
figure out which one of these young men had that item shoved in their pants.
Hey,
So Molly Poppins won it.
yes.
Because Molly Poppins won, she gets a little advantage when it comes to this week's Maxi Challenge. But before we continue on, what did you think of that mini challenge?
It was funny.
It was funny. I enjoyed it.
It
I
was
love
funny.
situations like that. The girls get to be silly. RuPaul gets to be silly. Good time.
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing drag brunch. We are doing drag brunching. And you have to host a drag brunch with a partner.
Yes.
Because Molly won, she gets to pick her partner and everyone else's.
Oh,
I'm like, damn, Molly, you've been having to make a lot of decisions so far. You've been having to make a lot of decisions.
yes.
She chose Hannah Conda for herself.
Mm-hmm.
She chose Minnie Cooper and Queen Kong together.
Hey.
Beverly Hills and Pamora Fifth together.
Ugh.
And Spanky Jackson and Yuri Guy together.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think she was being strategic when she did all this?
I think she just went with whoever was next to each other.
She tried to play it off as her being strategic, and I'm like, I could see it in some point,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I thought somebody's gonna have to be teamed up, and I'm like, she's like, I teamed up a strong with a weak, and I'm like, you really did. You teamed up a
Mm-hmm.
strong with a weak. But we move onwards to this conversation right here. So I was wondering if they were going to address this on the television on screen.
Mm-hmm.
And they did. They were talking about cultural appropriation and the importance of educating yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Hannah admitted that she has appropriated people's cultures
Mm-hmm.
by wearing braids and other et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to say this. The one thing that I did appreciate from this conversation is Hannah took ownership of what she did.
Yeah.
The one thing about Scarlett Adams is she never once took ownership. She just apologized for being caught, basically.
Really?
Now, from my understanding, she went on a live and they said she went into a more detailed apology there. Well, she didn't do it on the show, and I don't follow her. As soon as I heard about that situation, I unfollowed immediately.
Mm.
So I will give her props for acknowledging what she did was wrong, the fact that she had to seek out why it was wrong and how it was harming people.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that she even stated that, I can never take that pain away from people. I can just make myself better. Or I paraphrase what she said. I
Yeah.
appreciate that she said that. Do I fully forgive her?
Mm.
Because, honey, you knew better. Now, if something were to come out, say, on Minnie or Spanky about the situation, I'd be like, okay, that was a different time.
Mm-hmm.
If they've learned and grown from then, cool. But this is stuff that just happened a few years ago. You grew up and you knew what you were doing. You knew what you were doing. And, it's not my place to accept her apology.
Mm-hmm.
But because from my understanding, it's mostly the Japanese and Chinese culture that she appropriated. Now, she did appropriate African culture as well. But from my understanding, it was mostly Chinese and Japanese cultures that she was appropriating.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say I give her props for taking ownership and admitting that she did was wrong, what she did was wrong, and that she has educated herself. And let's just hope it never happens again. Because I'm big on, I don't mind people apologizing, but I want to see the work. I want to see that you truly changed. I want to see that you've done what you need to do and we're moving onwards. I think the best example of that is Nick Cannon, when he said a lot of harmful things towards the Jewish community. They
Right.
called him
The
out.
Semitic things that he said.
They called him out for it. He apologized and he went and seeked out the information to understand what he said was wrong and why was it wrong.
Exactly.
He put in the work. So if Hannah really put in this work she says she did, then kudos to her and let's move forward. Is there anything you want to add to that? I know I kind of steamrolled that conversation.
No.
Is there anything you want to add to that?
No, not at all.
But we move on. The rehearsal, they did it with Reese Nicholson and Chris Parker. Honestly, I wish Chris was on the judging panel. He was a hoot.
Right?
He was a hoot.
He was hilarious.
Maybe he could only be there for one day and couldn't be there for the next, but he was a hoot. I'm not sure if these two knew each other outside of Drag Race, but they had great chemistry. They were battering off each other great.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I would love to go to a brunch hosted by them.
Hey.
Shoot. But yeah, they come through, and it is now Elimination Day. And normally we don't cover things that happen on this day, but we have an empty chair here, LaCresha.
Yeah, I was a little scared.
Yeah, so tell the people what had happened.
So apparently your guy got a eye infection of some sort and had to go to the emergency room.
Yes. And I was so worried because when you have to break that bubble,
yeah,
that typically means you can't come back in. So maybe she saw the medic that they have on set. So hopefully it didn't have to go any further than that. Because that was Cornbread's situation. She could have continued, but because she broke the bubble, she had to go home.
Right.
Come back into the bubble. But yeah, I was so worried. I'm like, oh Lord, Yuri, no. No. Whose runways am I gonna gag over every week? No. No. but we'll get to it. But we have RuPaul here on the main stage. What do you think of
Oh
this?
my God, that outfit.
This was cute. This was really cute. She was walking kind of funny though. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did.
Maybe it was a new pair of heels and they weren't broke in.
Something. But
Cause
they do look higher than usual.
yeah, because the walk was kind of off. I'm like, Ru, what's going on here? Usually you slay the walk, honey.
It was really slow, and then there was like, because I noticed there was like extra movement at the end.
Yeah, I caught that too, and I'm shocked they kept that in. I'm like, oh, like I would have figured they would have just cut right here and just showed the end of that, but you could see it on her face. So something wasn't right here. I'm not sure if something was too thick. But yeah, but overall the look was cute.
Mm-hmm.
We're joined by Michelle. I said it last week. I'll say it again this week. This look is everything.
I don't like those bangs.
Even like the glasses. I just realized that the glasses she had on wasn't originally on. I guess as the evening went on, she had to put them on, or the morning.
Mm.
I found out recently. For some reason, I always thought they shot the eliminations in the evenings. No,
Mm.
it's 10:30 in the morning. They're up there lip syncing for their lives. Can you imagine waking up 5, 6 o'clock? Have to be on set 7, 8 o'clock. By 10:30, 11 o'clock, you're on that main stage lip syncing for your life.
Ooh, the Lord have mercy.
I couldn't even imagine. Oh my goodness. Reese Nicholson was there. And then we had Ursula Carson there too. She was a pretty good guest judge.
Mm-hmm.
A pretty good one. I enjoyed her. You could tell she's a fan of drag. And that
Yes.
it was a hoot and a half to be there. Honestly, I wish Charlie, I believe that was his name. I wish Charlie was here. They could have had both of them, but then again, it could have been just a scheduling issue. So we're moving onwards to the drag brunch. So at first, we have Pomora Fifth and Beverly Hills. What did you think of their performance?
You know, you could tell that they really didn't have chemistry, but they were still kind of like chuckle funny.
Yeah, they had the jokes. They just didn't have the chemistry. It just wasn't there for them. I'm like, honey, like you could tell they're just like, you get to the gig, they're like, oh, such and such who you originally supposed to be here ain't here today. You got to work with this queen. I'm like, oh, never worked with this queen before. Okay, here we go.
Right. Okay. So let's come up with some jokes real quick.
Yeah, I thought they were funny, but I do agree there was no chemistry there. And even here, just Pomora just seemed out of it during this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the gig was, honey, but Pomora seemed completely out of it. My arm just broke off.
Time for a new chair. Let's get us 1,000 followers.
No, I've only had this for what, 5 years? How long?
3 years, 4 years. But you're in it all the time, so that makes a little bit of a difference.
4 years. Because people don't know, she actually put this chair together. Because handy, I am not. But yes, my friend put this together. Oh no!
Oh,
So
save me a piece.
It's weird having
before we bury it. Enshrine me. Sorry.
Right, let's move forward. So fortunately, Yuri God was able to make it, and she had to rush to get into that makeup, honey. And you can kind of see where the infection is here. And I really thought with the infection, she wasn't going to be able to put on makeup, or at least in that eye area. But baby, the look she had plus the look on the runway, she had that makeup on, honey. But let's get to Hannah Conda and Molly Poppins. What did you think of this performance here?
Flipping hilarious.
Huh?
So they were flipping hilarious.
Yes, they did a good job. But I do agree when Michelle said, yeah, y'all had the great chemistry. It's just there was no jokes.
Where are the jokes?
Y'all were up there, y'all were having a good time. But part of this was to make
they had great individual jokes. They didn't have good jokes together.
Yeah, like I agreed. I think they did a great job. I still enjoyed them. But I do agree that, the chemistry was great, but like the material wasn't all there. It was like two individual, like you just said, it was two individual queens, not a group of queens out there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. It wasn't, yeah.
Up next is Hween Hong and Minnie Cooper.
That was
I thought they did great.
bust out loud laughing,
This
funny.
was so good.
The again though, like it was two different individual acts. However, they
Conda,
did work. They worked really well together.
yeah, they were able to blend it in together, and they were working so good together. Honestly, I thought they were going to win this challenge.
They should have.
Because when we get to this group here, I liked it.
It was just really awkward.
Yeah.
Because your guy looked so uncomfortable.
Yeah, and like even when she was trying to be funny, I'm like, this isn't working. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't hitting like it should have. Honestly, I thought they were going to be lip syncing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really shocked when they ended up winning the challenge. It was spoiler alert, but hell, if you're watching this, you've seen the damn episode.
It's several days past now, so.
But the category is red for filth, honey. We're doing this category again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind categories being reused. Do you?
No.
Because they originally did this with All Stars 3.
Right.
Yeah. And UK versus the world reused the category 2, Kitty Girl.
Yeah.
Because All Stars 4 originally did Kitty Girl. So I'm okay with them reusing categories, especially if it's a good category. And Red for Filth was a good category.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start off with Beverly Kills. This was everything.
Yes.
Oh, she walked out in this. I'm like, stunning.
Yes. I love this.
I love, baby, it's telling the story. And I'm through the pages. I'm like, This was so good. So good. Oh, I got two. Up next is Pamor Fifth. This was cute. It wasn't bad.
No, apparently that was some type of indigenous fabric.
Yeah, I didn't know Miss Pamor was indigenous. I'm like, well, that's a good thing to know, honey. I'm glad you shared a piece of your culture with us. But I'm like, I hate that you shared it with us and then went straight home. I'm like, I would have loved to hear more of your story because we've heard a piece of Hween Hong's Samoan history. So I'm like, yeah, I would love to hear some of Pamora's indigenous history. That would have been cool. Yeah, this was a cute look. Hannah Conda, baby, this was everything.
Yes.
Rich bitch. Rich bitch, honey.
You say rich bitch, I say red Dick Tracy.
Rich bitch. I am a rich bitch.
I am a rich
Frederick. I am a rich bitch. This is yes. So good, so good. I got two of this one. Up next is Molly Poppins. I didn't like this.
That was not my favorite.
You know how I feel about chaps. I've made a few exceptions in the past, but
right. This was not chaps done right.
No, it wasn't. And then she dropped like that was supposed to make it better. It really didn't.
It really didn't.
It really did not.
But for whatever reason, other people loved it. This was freaking amazing. I got exactly who it was the moment.
Oh, it was so good. And the piece, amazing. Like, of course it is just like a corset, but still, not a corset, it's just a bodysuit, but still, it's done so right.
But there's more to it. They're not relying on just the bodysuit.
Yes. Yes.
There's the wig, there's the makeup, there are sleeves, there's a jacket that goes to it. I love the little chaps and the you love a knee high.
I do.
It tells a story.
Yes.
With a little bit of skin showing.
Up next is Minnie Cooper.
This would have been cute, but it ended up being a whole hot mess because it kept sliding down.
Yeah, like the message was amazing, and the dress is really cute too. I wonder what was causing it to slide down like that. But I really
either she lost weight or she like didn't. The corset she may have possibly had on was not tight enough, and so it slid down.
I don't know, but the dress is lovely, gal. It's lovely.
Yeah.
I just wish it would have stayed up.
Mm-hmm.
Up next is Spanky Jackson. I thought this was cute.
It
I
could have
felt like
been.
it was a size too big.
Yeah, because it swallows her. She has no hips, and I was low key expecting to see like some bottom because that's their brand. But
I'm glad we didn't see it. I'm like,
but
yeah,
I'm glad we didn't. I like the poppies. I don't know. I just wish this was executed better.
yeah, like I like it, but there's just a few small adjustments that I would have liked to see made on this.
Poppies.
Why do you girls bother at this point? Like, I win, you lose. Like, oh, bitch, the devil made me do it.
Oh my gosh.
This is
You
so
and your guy,
good.
bro.
Crown her. Fuck. Off the looks alone, I know she's struggling in these challenges, honey. I know she
Mhm.
is. Woo wee.
She said, but the runway,
She brings
I got
you
that.
every ball. Ooh, if they do a ball, I'm not sure if they're going to, but if they do a ball,
Mm.
oh,
And she's there for it.
she gonna eat. I hope she's there for it. I really do. I'm gonna say I got another one and
I
another one.
know. And the third one,
Oh no, that was it. That was it. So I think it's very clear that Yuri Guy was my favorite of the week.
obviously.
Who's your favorite?
Probably Queen Kong.
Uh-huh. She had a great look as well.
Yes.
Great. Honestly, I liked every runway. Is this the
Mm-hmm.
second week in a row? I've liked every runway. What's going on down under?
They bring it to you every ball.
I'm here for it. So RuPaul announces without any critiques, like straight off the jump, Spanky and Yuri, you're the winner. Like, did you notice the end of this episode just went?
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, whoa,
Yeah. I
whoa.
was like, what's going on? Did they dedicate too much time to the whole situation?
I think with the conversation that Hannah Conda, Queen Kong had, I think that took some time that would have normally went here.
Right.
But
Because
yeah,
it was like, okay, you two, you win.
and I agree with them winning.
You two groups can go to the back. You're safe. You two, you're out.
Do you agree with them winning this week?
No.
I don't. I don't. Honestly, I really thought they were going to be lip syncing. And I'm like, damn it, Yuri's going to go home because I think Spanky could, unless Yuri is a lip sync assassin and we just don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, it's them quiet ones. Because remember, Cameron Michaels, we weren't accepted. We were not prepared for that.
Hell, Willow Pill
Hell, Willow Pill was not prepared for that.
was not.
Was not. But yeah, so they won. I disagree.
I
And these
disagree.
are our bottom queens of the week. Honestly, I feel like Queen Kong
That
should have won.
they should have been safe,
This should have been the second week that
but they should have won, honestly,
they should have, honestly.
because they were
But yeah, our
hilarious.
bottom two is Beverly Hills and Pomora Fifth. I feel like they were better than Spanky and Yuri. So I don't agree with them being in this bottom two.
It's just that their lack of chemistry was so palatable.
Lack of chemistry. They did, but they still had more jokes that I laughed at than Spanky and Yuri. And I really wish I could have heard the critiques on why they gave them that win because I couldn't see it. Like, that really shocked me. I'm like, why did they win?
But that might be why it was cut the way that it did, was because they really couldn't justify it. It was like, okay, we're gonna say this real quick, and then we're gonna spend some other time elsewhere.
Well, they lip synced to Starstruck by Years and Years featuring Kylie Minogue. Now, I did know this song. The song's cute. But I'm like, out of the collaborations, because Years and Years and Kylie Minogue did 2 collaborations last year. They did Starstruck and they did A Second After Midnight. And when I tell you A Second After Midnight is a whole bop, a whole bitty 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 bop. Like, it was on my most playlist, like top 10 last year. Like, it was so good. So I'm like, I wonder why they chose this one and not the other one. But what did we think of the lip sync?
I think the right person won.
I do too. I really enjoyed this lip sync. I thought they were both giving a great performance. But
Mm-hmm.
Beverly towards the end just really took it up to that next notch
Right.
and really took it home for me.
Mm-hmm.
And again, another long lip sync. I lived for it. I'm like, hey, come on. This little moment here, I was like, woo, woo. But
Right.
ladies, careful, careful. There's plenty of stage. Plenty of stage.
Mm-hmm.
And Pomora was like, oh my God. But Beverly just played it off. She's like, yes.
This is exactly what I meant to do.
But yeah, right.
I love it when the queens interact with each other.
I do to a point. Like I was okay with it with this episode, with this lip sync.
Uh-huh.
From here on out, this is where I knew Beverly was gonna win.
The
Baby,
tricks
baby,
always
this
get it.
kick. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do a kick like this on Drag Race.
No.
And then she went into a split. Baby, it was too good. I was like, okay, ma'am. And then even Miss Pomora went into a split. I'm like, okay, ladies are flexible. Baby, I'm not sure if I could still do one. I know younger me could. I haven't tried in so long.
I've never been able to.
I could do a frontwards. I couldn't do one side to side, but I could do one frontwards. The one that
I'm gonna work on it though. I'm gonna be on some Jean-Claude Van Damme stuff.
But yes, lip sync is ending. Michelle clapped. RuPaul decided that Beverly Hills stays in the competition. Do you agree with this?
Yeah.
I do too, which means for more fifth, unfortunately, my dear, you must sashay away.
Oh wait.
Now next week they're doing Snatch Game.
Snatch Game. That's 3 weeks in a row.
Super excited. Super excited. So looking at this bundle of queens we have left, who do you think is going to excel in the Snatch Game?
I low-key think like Minnie Cooper is going to like surprise us.
I feel like Minnie is going to do good. Spanky could possibly do good. I think Hannah and Molly could possibly do good, but I'm worried for Yuri.
Yeah.
I know her runway is going to be sickening, but is it going to be sickening enough to save her?
Right. And I'm hoping that whatever acting background Queen Kong has, that it comes out in Snatch Game.
Yeah. Yes.
She needs to play like Tina Lawson, Beyonce's mother.
I'm a little worried. Honey. But yes.
Just a little bit.
Gonna play Snatch Game. And I had to get this shot of Michelle. Oh,
I love that suit.
Baby. All of this is right. All of this is right. I got 2 shots of it because it was so good.
Look, if I could get my hair to go to do that, dye the gray like that, I'd be all right.
Yeah. But honey, that is down under. That is down under. Overall, it was a decent episode. The judging was weird. And I felt like it was rushed. I'm like, honey, if you were gonna do that, we could have cut Untucked or cut like a couple minutes off Untucked. It's not like much happened anyway. I don't feel like that was the appropriate area to make some cuts. But hey, overall, I'm Pomora, I've had a like-hate relationship with her. I did. Moments I liked her, moments I hated her, but overall I did like her. I feel like she did her time. She did her time. Honestly, I could see her maybe in a couple years doing a versus. Or if Down Under has their own All-Stars by then, I could see her coming back for that, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I imagine we're going to see more from Pomora. So we wish her the best.
Yes.
We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here, honey. We have reviewed a lot of Drag Race today.
Yes, it is.
We're gonna
almost 7 o'clock. We both got to go to work.
Yeah, we're going to have to discuss adjusting these times next week. But we're going to wrap things up here. Cresha, where can they find you?
You can find me at Cresha McGill. That's CreshaMcGill on all social media.
And you can find me on all social media platforms at Simply Desmond. That's SIMPLYDSMOND. Thank you so much for spending a piece of your day with us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see y'all next week. Bye.